Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
And Happy New Year. Yeah, my name is Cynthia, and I will be your MC this morning. Before we begin the service, I would like to thank all of you that are here in person and also those online for attending our first service of the year, 2024, and wish you a very healthy and uplifting new year. We will now have the ringing of the kansho, the temple bell that signifies the beginning of our service. As you may know, it is a deep and sacred ritual steeped in ancient tradition. It is the calling of everyone to come together to listen to the teachings. The kansho also represents the gratitude and deep appreciation of the members, friends, and guests of the Windward Buddhist Temple. Please listen as the kansho is being rung. We will now have meditation followed by the chanting of the Vandana Ti-Sarana found in your red Jodo Shinshu service book on page 7. Please stand. Please be seated. Please turn to your red Jodo Shinshu service book once again for today's sutra, Sanbutsuge, or Hymn in Praise of Buddha. It's on page 47.
Nai shison shiga shinyo kero shinshi shokudo kuchu gagyo shojin ninju puke namanabu
In the same Jodo Shinshu service book, on page 4, please stand and jointly recite the recitation, the Creed. Namo Amida Butsu. Entrust yourself to me. I will liberate you just as you are. This is the calling voice of Amida. My blind passions are embraced in the Buddha's awakening. So the Buddha calls to me. I will liberate you just as you are. Gratefully responding to the Buddha's call, I find that I am already on the path that leads to the Pure Land, and the Nembutsu flows freely from my thankful heart. It is due to the guidance of Shinran Shonin and successive spiritual leaders who have transmitted the teaching to us today. Living with the Dharma as my guide softens my rigid heart and mind. Gratitude for the gift of life I have received frees me from becoming lost in greed and anger, and allows me to share a warm smile and speak gentle words. Sharing in the joy and sadness of others, I shall strive to live each day to the fullest. Please continue standing and turn to your purple supplementary book. Page 19 for Gatha, May Peace Prevail.
With kindness in our voice,
seated. Our first speaker of this new year needs no introduction. Our very own Reverend Barbara Brennan.
Thank you, Cynthia. And Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. It's good to see you all. I see some new faces, and that's wonderful. Today, I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm not going to start right in with the story I have. And you'll see why in just a second. Last week Bob gave a talk about Mr. Levi. Well, I got this in the morning, and this is from my dear friend who happens to be here today. So it's wonderful to get a text that says, "Good morning, morning hugs," and you'll notice his shirt. Yeah, it just seemed so coincidental I had to share this picture. In the past few weeks, I have not had a dryer, and my washer works fine. So I do my load of laundry and I walk it up to my son's house, which is just across the lawn. And, we run into these little trials and tribulations when our appliances don't work or other things don't work. And so the technician finally came after, it was like 2 to 3 weeks. And I thought, good, he's going to fix it. Well, he couldn't, because he said I had to order, I don't know if it's called a motherboard, but this computer thing. So he says, I can't reschedule you for another 3 weeks. And I thought, oh my gosh. So, and then within a few days, the motherboard came, but they couldn't make my appointment earlier. So this is kind of what I felt like. The guy with 2 rocks said he'd be here to restart the fire, but between 10 a.m. and 4. Yes, I can imagine back then we had the same kind of problems. Anyway, just thought I would just add that in there. Thanks for your patience. Couldn't resist that cartoon. Okay. Shinran taught that the true meaning of a person's life is determined by living with awareness of the Buddha's compassion moment to moment throughout one's life. Shinran, the founder of our Pure Land Buddhist tradition, taught that the spirit of mindfulness and gratitude in which the words Namo Amida Butsu are recited is more important than the number of recitations. Reflected in the story through still waters, this is a story about Stillwater and his nephew Ku. So reflected in the story through Stillwater's words and actions in teaching children valuable lessons, and Ku shares his haiku poems. So let's begin. This book is called Zen Ties, and there's Stillwater and his nephew Ku. And they exercise together. That's something that I need to improve upon, I'm afraid. And these books, Mr. John Muth has written many Buddhist-oriented books, and this is just one of them. So Stillwater, Ku, and the balloons all sit quietly in the park, enjoying tea. So Ku read a haiku, stated a haiku. Tea was very good. My cup holds emptiness now. Where shall I put it? Stillwater did not like to waste, so he said, we will use these cups every day while you are here, so we should save them. Suddenly, Stillwater burst out laughing. That tickles. And the reason why is his friends Carl and Addie and Michael came to see him. Hi, Stillwater, said his friends. We were just coming to see you. Sorry, my finger's a little slippery. Hello, said Stillwater. I'd like you to meet my nephew, Ku. The children introduced themselves and everyone ran off to play. Michael wanted to ask Stillwater a question. I'm going to be in a spelling bee. What would you do if you were in a spelling bee? Michael said he was anxious about it. He feels like he's going to mess up. So Stillwater just said, I would spell words. Do your best. That's what you're supposed to do, said Stillwater. Michael said, it's hard to do my best when I'm nervous. Stillwater nodded and smiled. Ku and I have to visit Miss Whitaker this afternoon. I would like you and Carl and Addie to come along. That Miss Whitaker who lives on our street? Asked Addie. That Miss Whitaker? Asked Carl. She hates us. She's really old and she spits when she talks. Every time we pass her house, she shouts at us. She scares me. She's your friend? Michael asked. Stillwater looked at them. Yes, he said, she isn't feeling well, and we must bring her something to eat. The children helped Stillwater prepare some soup. It smelled very good. Then they put it on a tray with some soft bread. As they walked quickly down the street, Stillwater said, Miss Whitaker is a good friend. You will see. Why on earth did you bring these children here? Shouted Miss Whitaker. The children backed away. Hello, Miss Whitaker, said Stillwater. You look well today. We've brought you some nice soup. Carl looked at Miss Whitaker. She did not look well at all. She looked thin and she looked small, much smaller than she did when she stood on the porch yelling at them for throwing a ball in her yard. Stillwater helped Miss Whitaker up to bed and offered her the soup. Then he asked Addie to sweep the floors, and he asked Michael to open up the curtains and blinds. Carl, hold the dustpan still, said Addie. Carl and Ku are very good at drawing pictures, said Stillwater. I can't see pictures anymore, said Miss Whitaker crossly. Carl and Ku drew several pictures together. When it was time to leave, Stillwater put them up around Miss Whitaker's bed. He told her they would come back tomorrow. Outside, the children said goodbye. Bye, said Carl and Addie. See you tomorrow, said Stillwater. I don't know, said Michael. I should study for my spelling bee. You should come, said Stillwater. You should come early. And here's Miss Whitaker looking at one of the lovely pictures that they drew, which was a nice big apple that she could see. The next morning, Stillwater told Michael, Miss Whitaker used to teach English. She did? Asked Michael. Then Stillwater said, Miss Whitaker, did you know Michael is going to be in a spelling bee? Well, said Miss Whitaker, I know something about that. Now listen, just like plants, words have roots. Miss Whitaker said, a plant grows from its roots, and so do words. Roots of words can teach you to spell. And with that, Michael spent the morning with Miss Whitaker studying for his spelling bee. The next day, Stillwater found Koo looking up at the apple tree in Miss Whitaker's front yard. Oh, help, Stillwater, said a voice from up in the tree. Can you catch me? I was getting some apples for Miss Whitaker, said Carl. This morning sunlight gathering apples and a boy, said Koo. After the spelling bee, Michael raced to Miss Whitaker's. I did it, said Michael. I made it all the way through to the end. Good, said Stillwater, so you were not too nervous. Well, the judges were nothing compared to Miss Whitaker, said Michael. Yeah, said Carl. Just this morning, she was shouting at us again. Then why are you smiling? Asked Stillwater. She was telling us to get out of the street and play in her yard. On the last day of Koo's visit, Michael presented Miss Whitaker with the ribbon he got at the spelling bee. Carl gave her the apples he had gathered. My mother taught me to make apple tea, said Miss Whitaker. I haven't made it for years. Now Addie and I have made some for you. When it was time to say goodbye, Addie, Michael, and Carl gave Koo a big hug. Koo said, summer fading, new friends' faces lighten the way home. At the train station, Stillwater looked over at Koo. You may throw away your cup now, said Stillwater. Koo shook his head. Nearing my visit's end, summer now tastes of apple tea. I will keep my cup, said Koo. So with hands together, they said goodbye. Thank you for listening. Namo Amida Butsu. You know, there were more pages to this book, but it would have taken a lot more time, but I think you can kind of understand the gist of the book. And this is it. It's nice and big, so it made it easy to reproduce the pictures. So if anyone wants to see it, you're welcome to. Excuse me. Thank you.
It's like my desk at work. Can't find anything. Thank you, Reverend Barbara. I think we all know a
Miss Whitaker.
Miss Whitaker in our lives. Yeah. Okay. Please rise and turn to the handout that was given to you. the recitation of the New Year Metta for Peace. Okay? So today, as we welcome the year 2024, let us, in oneness with the Buddha's great compassionate aspiration, express our wishes for the happiness of all beings in the coming year. Through this New Year Metta for Peace, as I read the aspirations, please respond.
May all beings be happy. May we all live in peace.
In the past year, we have shared the sorrows of many who have lost their loved ones to senseless violence in many forms. In the coming year, may we set an example of compassion and caring, and may anger and ignorance be transformed into love and understanding.
May all beings be happy. May we live in peace.
Many in our world today live in conditions of terrible hunger and poverty as a result of the greed and injustice of we who possess more than we need. In the coming year, let us learn to let go of our selfish attachments and work for the well-being of all human beings in the world.
May all beings be happy. May we all live in peace.
Because of our selfish way of life, we are in the process of destroying the natural environment that constantly nurtures and sustains us. In the coming year, let us grow to truly appreciate this world of which we are a part, to take only what we need from her, and to preserve the precious life forms with whom we share our planet.
May all beings be happy. May we all live in peace.
In the coming year, let us strive to truly appreciate our family members and friends, all those with whom we walk the path of life together. May we cherish them, listen to them, be present for them, and never take them for granted. Let us realize that every moment we share is precious and unrepeatable.
May all beings be happy. May we all live in peace.
Finally, in the coming year, let us cherish and awaken to our own unique existence, a gift of life that we each receive every moment of every day, a treasure beyond conception. May all of us, walking the Nembutsu path in oneness with Amita's boundless mind, come to cherish all beings, spread love throughout the entire world without limit, and cultivate infinite goodwill towards all.
May all beings be happy. May we all live in peace.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Please remain standing for the Nembutsu, which can be found in your red Jodo Shinshu service book on page 135.
Although I recite the Nembutsu, I am not reciting. It is Amida in me that makes me recite. How fortunate I am. I've eaten rice 3 times a day for 60 years, and yet I cannot describe what it tastes like. It's the same with the teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Please be seated. Okay, this concludes the formal portion of our program, of our service. Thank you all for being a part of it. Before we call Dennis, President Dennis, up to make announcements, I have one announcement. Who has a birthday in January? Please stand and don't be shy. What? Nobody? No one? Oh, well, I guess we save our lay. Okay. Oh. Okay, we will now have announcements by our President, Dennis.
Yeah, so unusual, no birthdays. Well, Happy New Year, everybody. Yeah, we welcome a new year, a hopeful year of as we sit in the Metta for some peace in this world. It starts out with a beautiful day today. Thanks, Reverend Barbara, for your message. You know that little comic strip of that rubbing the, two rocks? That is so funny, because not long ago we had trouble with our dryer, and we'd be there between 8 and 12 or something like that. It's always the case. But it was fun. Cynthia, thank you for being the MC. Merle was a greeter. Joy, our pianist. Shirley rang the kansho. And of course, thank you, Ryan, for videotaping. We have some guests. For the first time, welcome Erica and Chris. Please stand. Welcome. And please stay for refreshments afterwards. And our friends from Betsuing, Mel and Irene. Welcome back. Did I miss anybody? Okay, announcements. Next Sunday service will be our Ho'onko, or Shinran Memorial Service. Reverend Bert Sumikawa will officiate the service and provide a Dharma message. After the service and refreshments, we're going to have bingo games. So, wow, I guess. You ready for all that? Okay. For our planned visit to Hawaii Betsuing on Sunday, February 18, I've made a sign-up sheet. So if you're interested, please sign up. We still have a lot of time, so we'll have a lot of more details as they get announced, and I'll share it with you. But like our visit to Jikoen, this will be by carpool. So if you would like to attend but you don't have transportation, just indicate you need a ride, and we can carpool. All right. That Sunday we won't have a service here, so sign up. Hawaii Betsuing will have a special guest speaker that day. George Takei. Sulu from Star Trek. His message is, the topic will be, What Buddhism Means to Me. George Takei will be doing another talk later in the day at 5 p.m. It's a fundraising event titled, George Takei Reflects on Day of Remembrance. The Day of Remembrance is on February 19th, which marks over 80 years of racial reckoning since the signing of the Executive Order 9066 that led to the wrongful incarceration of 120,000 Japanese Americans during World War II. There's an updated flyer up on our bulletin board, so you can read more about the service as well as that special talk. Let's see, not too many messages, but I do have Prudence to explain about our activity today.
Good morning. Last week I said that because it's the year of the dragon, we're going to make dragons. Let me see. Here's my dragon. It's not cute, huh? So anyway, those children and adult children that would like to make dragons, we'll do it in the back here after refreshments, so have that. I also wanted to share with you, KHON TV, they have a series called Cool for Kupuna, and it's their second season. And they came by at our temple to tape the Ikebana class, and that was in July, and they were showing it today at 5:30. And I'm going to post this because they apparently had done a show in Aea that aired on the 31st of December. Next week, they went to a place in Kaimuki, and then on the 21st, they're going to show one they visited somewhere in Kalihi. So, because there's other dates, I'll have this posted. So for those of you interested to know what we do in Ikebana class, you can watch. Thank you.
I want to make that. Okay, any other announcements? I'd like to announce that we have a new member of Windward Buddhist Temple. That's Karen back here. All right, let's have some food. So let's do words of thanksgiving found on page 126 of the Red Service Book. We are truly grateful for this wonderful food, a gift of life. May we share its benefits with all beings. As we partake of this food, let us remember Amida Buddha's compassion, which surrounds all people and all forms of life. Namo Amida Butsu. Itadakimasu. Thank you, everyone.